I want to take the opportunity on this Holy Thursday afternoon to extend a warm greeting to all the members of St. Joan of Arc, my family and friends here in the Twin Cities. I want to give you a bit of an update on myself. In addition to my Easter greeting, I was diagnosed with pneumonia soon after returning from our delegation to South Africa. On March 23rd, I turned 70 in a world that was changing dramatically and could only be seen from the front window in my house. We live in a very different time right now. I remember years ago, the youth program had t-shirts and sweatshirts designed that said, "Don't go to church, be the church." How many of us ever wondered in our lifetime that we would be living in a time that we actually couldn't go to church, but are learning very new ways of being the church every day. I have a favorite reading that I've used with Joan of Arc several times over the years, and as I spent some time over these last days, I want to share this reading with you, entitled, "When Things Fall Apart." Things fall apart in a kind of testing and also a kind of healing. We think that the point is to pass the test or to overcome the problem. But the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and they fall apart again. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of us to have this happen. Room for grief, room for relief, room for misery, and room for joy. When we think that something is going to bring us pleasure, we don't really know that's going to happen. When we think that something is going to give us misery, we don't really know that it will. Letting there be room for not knowing is the most important thing of all. We try to do what we think is going to help, but we don't know that it will. We never know if we're going to fall flat or sit up tall. When there's a big disappointment, we don't know if that is really the end of the story. It may be just the beginning of a great adventure. Again, I'm very honored and I'm very grateful on this Holy Thursday to be able to reach out to the beloved community of St. Joan of Arc. Easter is for us and has always been a great adventure. Easter is not only about what happened to Jesus, but to a great degree, it's about what happens to us as we live lives that are transformed by his rising. We not only await final transformation, and with the pandemic, we are much more aware of what that final transformation could mean. But every time that we stand with the crucified peoples of our day, as did Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, the risen one is alive in us as we break the hold of dealing powers here today. The poet Maya Angelou captures this in her poem entitled "Still I Rise." I want to share just the last portion of that poem. It's an important message for all of us to embrace in this time of change for our entire world community. And again from Maya Angelou, "Still I rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. I invite us all today to pray for our families around the world. I've been in touch with our family and friends in South Africa. I've been in touch with my brother and his wife as they prepare to bury my sister-in-law's mother on Saturday in a most challenging way to try to celebrate her life. All of us have our own personal stories. It's important for us, again, as we celebrate this Holy Week, and recognize the many opportunities that we have to embrace this Easter in a way that could truly change our lives for a lifetime. I share this Celtic blessing. As I have always said, when you get an Irish priest, you're going to have an Irish blessing. And so I invite us today to receive this blessing. From my home to your home, from my heart to your heart. May God continue to bless us and again the world in which we live. I share this blessing with you today and every day. May you recognize in your life the presence, the power, and the light of your soul. May you realize that you are never alone. And again, may the brightness and the belonging that connects us intimately with the rhythm of the universe. May you have respect for your own individuality and difference. May you realize that the shape of your soul is unique, that you have a special destiny right here and right now. That behind the facade of your life, there is something beautiful, good, and eternal happening. May you learn to see yourself in the same delight, pride, and expectation with which God sees you in every moment. May God continue to bless us and the world in which we live. And I ask that blessing in the name of the Creator, the Redeemer, and the one that sanctifies us in love. I want us to remember, as Maya Angelou reminded us, we again can bear the tide in which we live. I'm honored to be the church with you, and I'm most eager to go to church with you when the time is right. A blessed Easter to everybody. Amen.